recording.
Yeah, you should
Oh,
probably start
there, now
recording.
it's okay. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'm sitting on my feet. What am I doing here?
I don't know.
I'm the only one that doesn't have it like square focused on them.
Yeah, you also look
You
like
also have a bunch
you're-
of boxes. Like, you look like you're still moving.
He added the boxes in the background to make it look less like a back or whatever.
It just looks
fake
more like a background.
Yeah, it just made it worse.
Yeah.
You tried though. It was.
What if I bought you a giant, like, tapestry poster of just some anime chick with huge hungo bungos
Sure.
that you can hang on the wall behind
Sure.
you?
I
put
can
that in
tell
the
you
living room.
many girls with huge hongo bongos.
Hongo
from anime.
bongos!
I just have
Hongo
to.
That's my
bongos.
favorite name for titties is hongo bongos.
Who came up with that one?
Speaking
Hongo
of
bongos.
titties, we didn't see any titties in this movie.
Right?
No, we did. Very split second in
We
that
saw
really weird,
background
sexy
anyway,
art. Yeah.
Let's
Oh.
let's start
I didn't
the
see
actual.
titties in this movie.
Let's start this actual shindig.
Shindig? Yeah, let's
Yeah.
go.
Shindig's a good word.
Well, Cass, you were the one that picked the movie, so you're starting.
I picked this movie. It was supposed to be a good movie.
Welcome to Apartment Theater. That's how it's
Welcome-
supposed to go.
Welcome to Apartment Theater, where 3 jackasses sit in their own fucking apartments.
I
And
live in a house.
talk about movies.
None of us live in an apartment.
You still rent, bitch.
No, I
It's
don't.
still a house.
That's true. Not a single one of. Well, mine's kind of an apartment,
It's in a house.
but it's kind of an apartment. It's like an apartment in a house, like, you know.
You know,
Like,
yeah,
it's
apartments are
sure,
just big.
let's just go with
Apartments are
Not
just
a single one
houses
of us
with
will-
rooms.
Yeah, they are. They sure are. Now they are. Guy, none of us live in an apartment. Who named this? Anyway,
Me.
what episode is this, Danny?
I think it's
19. This is
19.
episode 19.
Episode 19. We watched Valentine, made in 2001.
Directed
starring-
by Jamie Blanks. I think that's what his name was.
I don't know. I don't have the information for the movie up on my screen at all.
They had a pretty solid cast of people.
Okay.
So it was basically all the hot people of the early 2000s. Like,
Yeah.
also, I love that they tout that, what's her name? Katherin Hiegl is in this movie. And she's in it for like 10 minutes. That's it. And she dies right away. And I'm like, okay.
So, Cass, what was this movie about?
This movie, synopsis here. We open up with a middle school, junior high. Yeah, that's junior high.
Yeah, 6th grade.
Yeah, dance. And there is a young man who is walking up to all of the pretty girls and asking them if they would like to dance, and all of them scoff at him and tell him that he's gross.
That's how
Yeah,
it was
it's
for me
like
in
living
6th
junior
grade,
high
too.
all over again.
Yeah, right. And then he goes up to quote unquote the fat chick, she's not fat. She looks like a normal fucking girl. Anyway, that I only call her that because that's how they refer to her later in the movie. But anyway,
They also call her Buffalo.
yeah, which is super fucking weird. Anyway, so he goes up to her. She's sitting alone on the bleachers, and he asks her to dance, and she says yes. And then we cut to a few minutes later, and between the two of them, things are getting hot. They're making out. I wasn't making out in 6. Yes, I was. Never mind.
I wasn't.
Wait, no, I wasn't.
You know,
Justin, you and I are probably those really fucking weird
Wait, was I?
kids
No, I
anyways.
wasn't. No, I wasn't. I'm thinking of freshman year of high school. Just kidding.
I'll tell you something sad once we get the synopsis done.
Anyway, so they're making out under the bleachers, and then these 4 jock bully guys come up, and they're like kind of making fun of him. But then they like prompt the girl with, "Did he touch you? Is he being a perv?" And then they end up calling him a perv and beating the like little nerdy guy up.
Taking his
And
clothes.
she what?
Taking his clothes too.
Yeah, they take his clothes for some reason. I don't fucking know why. I
Because
guess
it's
that's
the
just a
early
thing
thousands.
kids
Yeah.
did. They just took your clothes. I don't know. But like the girl ends up kind of going along with it that like, yeah, he's a pervert and like he basically sexually assaulted her when like that wasn't the case at all. Um and then we, cut to 13 years later. And there is someone sending all of the, pretty girls Valentines and killing them. And
Yeah.
we can't figure out who the fuck it is. We have like three male suspects. We know it is this kid from middle school who's doing it, but we don't know what he looks like because he spent time in like a mental institution and all these different things. And he's super fucked up because when he got accused of sexually assaulting this girl, he had to like basically go to juvie and all this kind of shit.
The other Valentine's movie we watched feels very similar to
Yeah,
this.
it does.
Mental institution.
Mental institution and all that stuff. Also, this was based off of a book.
Yeah.
I saw that on the title screen and was like, oh, okay,
Yeah, I had no
sure.
idea either.
I just want
Anyway, everybody slowly dies. Throughout it, it's a slasher movie. That's what happens. And then we get the reveal at the end of who the killer is.
It was the fat chick. Or was it?
I just like in the beginning, the guy that was like, Jason likes that dress.
Yeah, talking about himself in third person. That I was like, I hate.
Oh
this
my
fucking
god,
guy
I hate
so
that guy.
much.
I wanted him to die so bad, and he
never
doesn't. Does he? I don't think he does.
No, he doesn't.
Like he shows up
No.
like one other time later.
I'm pretty sure he's the one that gets wax on his dick.
No, that's a different guy. That was
that's
a speed
different
dating guy.
Oh,
yeah, that was a speed dating guy.
Oh.
That was funny though. Fucking give it to Paige. Like, cause for some reason there's this character Paige, super hot. She like everyone makes her out to be this super huge like
slut.
Like she's fucking everybody. Which like by the way, she can fucking do that if she wants.
I'd fuck Denise Richards in early 2000 highlight years.
She's Absolutely. Hot. Like, and
I think hot's
not
an understatement
at all. Like, she's not sleeping with anybody. Like, she flirts with a lot of guys, and that's fine. Like, this, I had to pause at that scene because he literally takes her upstairs and is like, I have something to show you.
So you're showing me your penis.
And she's like, you brought me up here to show me your dick. Wow. Great. Like, that is every fucking woman's response. Like, what? Like, why is this why I'm here? Like, jeez. Anyway.
So yeah,
how is this supposed to be our good movie?
It was
supposed to be. Yeah, it was. It was supposed to be our good movie, but it wasn't good.
There were aspects I liked.
Doesn't this have like a cult following or something like that?
It is a cult classic now. Like it was critically bombed. Like it.
Yeah.
14% on Rotten Tomato. Like
12% actually.
12%. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, here's the thing: just because it's a cult movie doesn't necessarily mean that it's good. Like, there's a ton of cult like Battlefield Earth is a cult movie, well, in more ways than one. But that movie is horrible. But that's why it's a cult classic because how fucking horrible it is.
Yeah.
So there was aspects that I didn't like the movie, but there were aspects that I did like. I
don't like it.
Also wish that because they were building up that for some reason this, even though that's who it was, Jeremy Martin, right? I know they said his name like 1,000 times, but I forget.
I don't know.
Started with a J.
Were JM. Who cares what the rest was?
They were building it up that JM was the killer.
Jason Mraz.
There we go.
There you
go. He was the kid that all of them rejected in well, except for Kate. Kate was the only one that was just like, We can dance later. She
Mm.
politely turned him down.
Yeah, she did.
But I like the idea that it could have been the fat chick, and she was like jealous, and I thought that would
I
have
don't
been
think it
really
was.
great. I thought that would have been different because they're building it up to be this guy, and then it turns out to be the girl. I like when girls end up being the murderers because it's such a not very much done thing. Like you'll see it, but it's not as much as like a male murderer kind of thing. And I like
Yeah.
when we see like psycho girls like killing people or like taking those like classics and
I
changing it
can't think of
around.
any slasher movies that have women as the killer.
As the killer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I think that would have been nice. I don't think they're that clever though. I just don't
No.
think the writers are that clever to like have it be her, and her play it off of that and like, make this big elaborate thing that,
I mean, she had
it's this.
motivation, because
Yeah,
the
she
people that
did.
she was, because the people that were killed were people that were like affecting her. Because there were some
Yeah.
people where I was just like, why, if he's the killer, why is he just killing random people
Yeah.
too? Because like, why are you killing the
The maid.
housemaid? Like, what point of? I mean, unless it was like she like saw something, but then like we don't see that, so it's like, why did you kill this person? Like that just seemed like most of the kills were like, why this person? But if it was her, it would make a lot more sense because, like, even though it was very like 2 seconds of like her being kind of like a bitch to her, whatever, like I would still get it. Like, okay, this person judges you or whatever. It's like anybody who like is treating you like shit basically was getting killed.
That's why I would have like, because she even had that freak out at the end where she was always the fat one. Everybody else had their own thing in the group. So like, and then I mean, early in the movie, like she definitely did not get along with that maid.
Yeah.
The random chick that to deal with Campbell that I can't remember her name. Boy, was she a bitch. Like I understand getting mad.
His,
Everyone
like,
was a bitch.
ex-girlfriend.
Let's just put that out there. Every character
Everyone's
was
a
a
bitch.
piece of shit.
Yeah.
Everyone
she
was
was just
awful.
like, don't get me wrong, like I understand where she's pitched. Like this guy like took so much from her and all that great. Why are you coming at this girl that you don't even know and fucking attacking her, like verbally like abusing her? Like
that's what you did in the 2000s.
I don't
Everything was
get
built on jealousy in the 90s and 2000s.
And apparently industrial metal, new metal, and rap metal
Yeah,
throughout the entire soundtrack.
There was Linkin Park in there, and I was
you
pretty
got
pumped
Linkin
about
Park,
that one.
you got
Yeah.
Deftones, Disturbed is in there.
I think I heard Korn and Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, Korn was in. Yeah.
I didn't hear the Korn song. That's weird.
I feel like
Orgy
it
was definitely
Korn.
there. And then there was another one too that stuck out to me, but I cannot remember it off the top of my head. But I enjoy the soundtrack because it's such a time capsule of the early 2000s, and this was all stuff that I was listening to, and during everybody was listening to it, and well,
I think maybe that's why it's a or like why it's a cult classic is because of the music and like the actors that are in it.
Definitely part of it.
Every single one of those actors, I think, like during that time, or at least right after, ended up on TV.
The main dude, I cannot
David
remember
Boreanaz,
that guy.
Oh, okay, that's how you say his last name.
He was already in Buffy, so he was already like a big pull. And then Denise Richards is also still a big pull. She was in Starship Troopers and Wild Things. If you think she's hot in this movie, Wild Things is... Whoo! The pool scene in Wild Things, I'm pretty sure it broke a lot of VHS tapes. There were a lot of people getting that movie for the right reasons. Actually, side note, that movie is being released on 4K, So if anyone wants to watch that, now's a perfect time for that. You can watch it in all its 4K,
4K.
glory.
Yeah.
Arrow Video is doing like a special release for it. We're not sponsored.
Mhm.
I just like their stuff. But yeah, anyway, so it was nice hearing it, but I was also thinking to myself, like, out of these bands, who do I even listen to anymore? And Deftones was like the only one. And I'm like, that's the only band I can think of that has survived
I don't really listen to
the
any of them.
2000s. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I
they're the
listen
only
to
respected artist. Like,
if it was a good song and stuff, I'd still listen to it. But yeah, it was definitely like a time capsule. Paige is really hot.
The movie is extremely horny, but the problem with it, for a movie so horny, it lacked any sex. And I'm like, look, I don't think sex scenes are really necessary to like enhance a movie, but it's a movie called Valentine. Everybody's horny.
Yeah.
And you have all these hot people too. I'm sorry. Denise Richards taking off her coat multiple times is not enough. Yeah, she's wearing a tank top, and Katherine Hiegl, she's an awful person, but she's hot in that. But like, why are you doing this shit with a tank top? Like, what is this? Come on. Like, you almost had something with Denise Richards in the hot tub and the pool, like the swimsuits. Like, okay, cool. This movie had such a hard-on for Denise Richards, which I really understand at the time, because Denise Richards was like extremely hot and not seen as totally fucking crazy.
I feel like we need a tally somewhere of like how many times Justin has said Denise Richards.
It's like watching the movie. Imagine every time she comes up, I say Denise Richards.
When I get this up on YouTube, I'll put a little tally in the corner. Just
yeah, Denise Richards. Anyway,
I think this.
Other than that, like this movie lacked a lot of substance.
Yeah, it felt like
which is probably why we're not talking about the plot at all. Is because
there was barely any plot.
There was barely a plot. It's been a plot that's been done hundreds of times. Things were happening
in the beginning and things were happening at the end, but that middle was just them sitting around drinking orange juice.
Yeah, getting murdered. That was it.
Murdered.
Like, yeah, it's a slasher movie. There's not much that happens in fucking slasher movies. I mean, I feel like there can be though, but
like there's. A slasher movie can at least have tension. Like, Halloween, most of the time they're just in the house, but there's tension. You care about the characters, and you're like, what's gonna happen to them? Because I hate that it's a slasher movie. You don't need to care about the people. Like, because then at that point you're just like, I'm just watching people die. And if you don't have like, even if you just straight up hate the people, like that's fine. But like,
at least you feel something.
It's gotta have something. Like, everyone's a piece of shit. You want them to die, but like, there's just not enough to the characters. There's almost too many characters. And then I honestly, because there's so many hot blonde girls in this movie, I'm like, who's who again? I can't remember.
Yeah,
I lost track.
I couldn't really. I don't know. It wasn't until like the last 30 minutes that I even realized like what most of their names were. Because I really didn't know.
I was trying to keep up with the names.
I only remember
I know
Paige Adam.
That she had to do with almost every single scene. Like,
she was also I think she was the only one with dark hair.
Yes.
So she was super easy to pick out. And that's about it. Like the other ones were just generic blonde chicks. Which is kind of rude to say, I guess, but
as a generic blonde chick, well, I'm not. I'm actually brunette, but I've been blonde for a very long time.
Yeah, like they were boring. Everyone in this movie was boring. There was nothing to this movie.
I liked the use of color in this movie. Like when they actually were trying to go for something, it looked really nice. And all I was thinking was like, this movie either got butchered in editing or they just had a shit movie on their hands. I mean, like there's no other way around it. But like it looked like they wanted to try to at least like it kind of gave me some maybe it was just me seeing this, but because of the color that was being used in it kind of gave me like a giallo feel, you know, like very Argento kind of look where especially with the dark reds going on with it and
that plaid room.
Yeah, I was like,
oh
this is a
God.
weird room. I like
so
this.
weird.
Like this is cool. And then with the black glove killer, like I think the killer looked cool too. Like I thought it worked out really well. The thing that I was really disappointed by was that he didn't use a bow and arrow more. He used a knife mainly. And I'm like, if you were gonna go with the Cupid thing, bow and arrow all the way. Like I was waiting for someone to get a arrow straight through the head or something.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Like, and if it had like a little like heart tips too, it's like that would have like made it so much better. But
that probably would have made it really campy. But I think this movie could have used that.
It's already
like,
camping it up.
I feel like it should have had little heart tipped bow or arrows
that's what
in
I'm
it.
saying.
Like, yeah. For sure.
I want to know how no one found Kate's body though, because I think she was the one that
no one liked her, and she just ended up in a dumpster.
Yeah, but it's a dumpster of a pretty big apartment building, like, and no one's noticed her for days. It's been days since she died.
Yeah. I mean, they all thought that she went to LA, which I guess I missed the part where she's like, "I'm going to LA," and then
that's what I was thinking
like
too.
I was
like, why does everyone assume that she's in LA right now? She never said anything. Unless I missed it.
Yeah, she yelled at the creepy artist, and she's like, "I'm going to LA tomorrow," and then ran away from him and died like a minute later.
That art.
So
also, the art exhibit thing was cool too. Like I really liked him. I really liked it when they were like going around. It was kind of like a labyrinth thing. Like, I'm like, you guys are like more of this weird, elaborate, like, because the whole exhibit thing was about like sex and love and all that shit. And like, man, there should be more.
How about use of color?
More love, death things, and then like more. I don't know, like the deaths, like you don't really see them happen. Honestly, like you kind of do. Like the arrows was like yes, like it was all like that right there was like, oh, this is perfect. But then they don't do anything else that really goes for it, you know. Like I feel like the whole Valentine thing is just kind of useless. Like, okay, like My Bloody Valentine was
hold on,
what was going on?
I'm looking
to see what the rating on it was
for Valentine.
Like, yeah, see if it was like PG-13 or something.
It was an R.
No, it's rated R.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It was rated R for 2000.
Yeah. There's tits. And it felt weak. Yeah. Like, if you're gonna get that hard R, you better deliver the goods. And they really didn't, honestly. Like, it doesn't need to be like a gore fest or anything, but at least
there wasn't even that much blood in this, though.
Yeah, like there was
like
blood
there really wasn't
in the jacuzzi.
Yeah, that's about it. That's the most that we see is blood in the jacuzzi. And
we see like a couple pictures of boobies. We don't see anybody whipping out boobies.
Yeah.
Like,
I also find it interesting, and I think he needs to go get checked. But okay, he needs to go to a doctor, like in general. But the nose bleeds every time he kills someone.
Yeah, that's alarming. What's up with that? There's a lot of blood.
It must be allergies, or it's really dry there.
I wonder. Yeah, probably.
If they were having sex, it wouldn't have been dry. But no one was having sex in this movie.
No one was having sex in this movie.
No, you think they would? They're all hot.
Yeah, it's such a fucking weird movie.
Yeah, it could have been way better. Like it had some good ideas. I genuinely think it had good ideas.
It had good ideas and it had a good cast.
Yeah. Also, going from a movie like Honeymoon, where like every 10 minutes they're basically fucking, to a movie that like every 10 minutes they should be fucking, but they're not at all. Super weird.
Everyone's just mad at each other.
Everyone, yeah.
It felt like I was watching like Real
drama?
Housewives, but they would get murdered. Which honestly, I would definitely watch that show.
Yeah.
Obviously,
The
I don't
Death
want
of
them to
Real
really get
Housewives, yeah.
murdered, but
Yeah.
I think that,
also
you know, like, oh, you think it's like a reality show and then someone just gets randomly murdered and you're like, oh shit. I don't know. I don't know where the
Oh, that
concept
would
of
be
that would go.
fun. And then it becomes like a murder mystery.
Which, like, that's
make
kind
a
of
murder
more
mystery
where I
Monday.
lean when it
I love
comes
Barry
to
Valentine.
when it comes to
Yeah.
horror movies. Is I want more of a mystery angle, and it was like
Yeah.
it was kind of like throwing me for a loop a little bit. Like, ooh,
Mhm.
like, what is the mystery going on here? And then when it all finally came to, it was like, I mean, I like that it kind of tried to divert, but then it
Mhm.
was like, oh, but actually it was him. Like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Also, how didn't she, when his nose bled onto her face, how did she, like, not feel that?
I
Okay,
know,
so here's
right?
the thing. When I was in high school, I used to get nosebleeds a lot. And the girl I was dating at the time, her and I were making out on the couch. My nose started bleeding. I didn't really realize it was bleeding until it's like, wait a minute.
There's a lot of extra liquid
Taste
here.
irony. And then I look and she's got blood on her face too. And I'm like, oh my god. I was like, I'm sorry. I gotta feel horrible, but
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, so I can definitely get it, but like in it, then again, if you're just like laying there, it's like, you should probably like maybe she thought it was sweat or something. I don't know. Like,
I don't know. Or tears. I don't know.
yeah, it could have been either one. Yeah, she just watched her fucking friend get shot like 10 times. So, like, he just
Yeah.
unloaded. He was like, ah!
Yeah.
Also, like, when he gets hit with the champagne bottle, like, I'm sorry, why is he just fine?
Right? Champagne bottles are hard.
He had no cuts or anything. Like, he's just
Earlier
okay.
that night, though, he also got hit in the head with a bat. Like, he had a lot of brain trauma that night.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he got kicked
Well,
in the balls, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Maybe he had a metal plate in his head because the bullies beat him up or whatever. And they said he ended up like in the hospital, right? Not just the mental hospital, but like the actual hospital to recover.
I think
So
so.
maybe he got like super beat up. So he had a metal plate.
If
in
he
his head,
got
so it was
so
fine.
beat up that if he got so beat up that that they had to put a metal plate in his head,
those kids should be in juvie.
those kids should be in fucking jail. Like, that's that
for
is
sure.
fucked. That is
Yeah.
like that goes beyond teasing. That is just straight up fucked. But yeah. Watching that beginning scene though really unlocked some horrible cringe memories of dances in middle school.
Same.
Yeah. Also, in that opening scene, where did they get? Like, they just run away for 2 seconds, come back, and pour punch on the kid.
I know.
I'm like, all right,
what
this is
adult
Carrie
chaperone? And well, I guess I was like the late 80s, right? If like the adult versions were taking place in 2001 or something like that, whatever, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, they're 19 and 20.
Yeah.
Of course they are.
Yeah, fucking 30-year-olds playing teenagers. Good old like 2000s and the 90s. That's what they did.
They still do it.
But like, what adult chaperones would be like? Yeah, it's fine. You can just take the whole punch bowl with you. It's chill.
From what I've learned, that is, if you're not popular in school, they don't care. So they're beating up that kid. I don't care. No one liked him anyway. But if it was someone that people liked, like if it was one of the pretty girls, all the chaperones would be like, wait a minute, what's going on over here?
I don't know if the boys were trying to like defend the girl or trying to find a reason to beat that kid up, because
Both.
like they attacked him for touching her.
The White Knights of the Round Table there. Fucking,
so
they were goofy looking too. I was like, you guys cannot judge this kid. Like, you guys don't look any better. Also, yeah, middle school sucks.
Middle school sucks. Nobody looks cute in middle school.
Growing up until like you graduate high school, it just sucks. Kids are brutal, like absolutely brutal.
media really they really raised my expectations of what would happen at a school dance.
Yeah.
And I was hopeless in middle school.
What is that, Danny? Tiny hands.
Oh, fucking baby hand.
Baby hands. Yeah.
I want to tell you guys a tale of cringe.
Yeah.
I found it
Middle
funny
school
that
story?
we did say last week was going to be our good move, or unintentionally the good movie.
No, we just picked something that was. She just picked it because it was a cult classic thing.
Yeah.
In middle school, I remember going to one of the dances, and I was waiting for some of my friends to show up because I got there like right around when it was starting. So I went and sat on the bleachers, and I sat up like all the way at the top, kind of in the corner too, because like contrary to popular belief, I don't really like being the center of attention. And I was just kind of
none of us do. That's why
so
we're having a podcast.
I was just kind of like, I'm just gonna chill up here for a little bit and wait for people. And this was before you could just whip out your cell phone and just read something.
Yeah.
So I'm just sitting there, just vibing to the music that's playing. And these two girls who are more popular girls, they came up and were like, "Oh my God, why are you sitting all alone? Like, you shouldn't be all alone." And I'm like, "You've got to be fucking kidding me right now."
Oh no. Oh no.
They pitied me. And I've been pitied many times. I also had a lot of instances where that girl over there, yeah, she likes you, and I'll be like, "No, she doesn't." I'm like, no. I mean, like, when you fall for it the first time, you're like, "Oh, maybe." You're like, "Oh." And then they're like, "Just kidding." And that fucking wrecks a person. Like, I do not believe anyone anymore for anything. Like, I don't know when anyone's being genuine. Like, when someone's like, the other one too was they act like they care what you're talking about. So they'll ask you about something that you like, and then they'll go, "I'm just kidding. I don't care. Like, why are you talking to me?"
Yeah.
And it's like, honestly, if you know anybody like that in real life, there are no consequences in life. Just punch them straight in the fucking face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit? Punch them in the face. You'll never, if you're in middle school right now and you're listening to this, punch them in the face. It doesn't matter.
If you're in middle school right now and you're listening to this, shame on you.
Yeah.
It does. It gets better in a way. I became a hermit. Don't live my life.
Don't listen to this podcast if you're in middle school.
Actually, do punch your bullies in the face. You'll never see them again after high school. Also, leave your hometown after high school. Even if you have no money, just leave. Just go.
Just leave.
Just go anywhere else.
Get out.
And your consequences will never catch up to you.
Unless you kill somebody, then they will. But
don't kill anybody.
Don't kill anybody. Just
if it makes you feel better.
Stand your ground. Punch people.
In whatever junior high, middle school, whatever.
Punch everyone.
At least people came over to. They pitied you and they came over to say you should
leave no stone unturned. If you're in trouble, you just double down. You punch every single fucking person there is. Teachers,
stop advocating violence.
Oh, that girl you had a crush on, punch her too. There are no equal rights, equal opportunity. Everyone's getting punched. Punch the DJ. Throw his speaker. Who gives a shit? Throw the pizza in the driveway. Who cares?
We don't support him.
For legal reasons, this is a joke and satire.
Punch every fucking person there is. But no, seriously. Only punch your bullies.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to throw fists.
Punch your teachers too. That's cool too. Yeah. The ones that are assholes and fucking creeps. How about we just
don't bully? Because
just people don't bully people. Yeah.
This is how schools get shut up.
That's how people get punched in school. Case in point, the mosh pit of 2003 middle school. Yeah. There I was throwing fists. I didn't throw any fists.
I'm so glad that we have diverted so far.
Look,
we jumped off the bridge. We're gone.
My story was much more interesting than this movie. If you care to watch this movie, there was a Scream Factory remaster release of this movie. It's a collector's edition. Looks very nice from what I've heard from the reviews I've seen of it. And there's a lot of bonus features and things and commentaries and all that jazz. So if you like having physical media, I would recommend supporting Scream Factory because they do a really good job on all their movies. If you don't want to watch the movie, that's fair. No one should. I don't know. If you want a fun time capsule of a movie, like it's interesting to be like, oh yeah, this sucked.
Yeah. I feel like there's better movies out there that would be like good time capsules though.
Oh yeah, no, there's
I had
better
a
movies
problem
in general,
also
yeah.
in the movie, like seeing geez Louise, David, and not thinking Booth the whole time.
I know. I kept thinking about Booth too. Anyway, yeah.
I also, the detective, I really wanted to mention this, but then we started talking about junior high Justin over here.
Punch everybody.
How fucking creepy the cop was, or the detective.
He was absolutely disgusting. I want to know. We didn't get to see his death, which was disappointing because he got his head ripped off, and also
Is that whose head was in the water?
Yeah,
I
that
think that's
mannequin
what it was
head.
supposed to be.
I
Yeah,
was
it
like,
was
who
just
the-
a mannequin
I was
head.
like, who the
It
fuck
was
is
so
this?
Just a mannequin.
It's like,
I
here's
feel like
some
this
bald mannequin. Who the fuck is that?
Somehow, like, I don't know. But yeah, he was super creep central.
He deserved to get punched in the face.
So yeah,
not die. I wouldn't say die, but definitely punched in the face.
Definitely punched. Yeah, I don't know.
So everybody here, I guess to end it, what is the final verdict on Valentine 2001?
Don't watch it. Well, unless you wanted to see like hot women screaming, like you don't even get to see them naked.
There's better.
Watch
there's
Wild
better
Things.
ways to
Watch Wild Things.
Watch Wild Things.
You get to see Kevin Bacon's huge fucking dong too. It's
Jesus,
terrifying.
okay. Wow.
You see it.
The things you know about movies. Anyway. Yeah. Don't watch it.
What do you think was based on? Where do you think they got the inspiration from? Tremors. The director saw his wiener, and that's how they.
Stop it.
The first movie is fantastic.
It is.
We
watched it together. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So yeah.
He has taken us away.
I'm taking you away now.
Just take me far away.
Do we have any like final thoughts on the movie before
My final
we say?
thought is listen to the soundtrack, cringe at your middle school memories, watch it if you want to. There are some interesting scenes in it, but overall, it's not great. It's not good. It's a failed potential movie. It is. It's one of those things where it kind of reminds me of Event Horizon, where I'm like, this could have been cool, but it wasn't. So that's my final verdict.
Well, you said this was also a book that became a movie.
Read the book.
Yeah.
Might be good. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, usually when books get made into movies, 8 out of 10 times the movie ruins the book. Like the book is good. Read the book. I'm sure the book is good.
Fuck
I wouldn't know. Never read it. Never even heard of it.
I wouldn't know either.
Go listen to some new metal. You've earned it. Now get the fuck out.
Go watch Doom Asylum.
Go somewhere else. Fuck off. Bye.
You didn't even give us our closing of like download.